Hello, welcome to Cogniz Education, and today we're going to be doing Algebra Unit 1, Lesson 3, Simplifying and Combining Like Terms. So first, start off with our key definitions and facts. First, we have term, which is a single number, variable, or, oops, my apologies, or product of numbers and variables. So some examples could be 5, a single number, or product of numbers and variables, 5x, that's a 5 times x, that's a number and variable being multiplied, that's what a product is. Negative 5x, anything like that. 11x, 11x squared, yeah. So then we have like terms. Terms with the same exact variable raised to the same power. So for example, 5 and 3, they both have no variable. So for example, like x to the 0, that's just 1. So they technically have a variable, but it's raised to the same power and it equals 1. So they're just like terms. Then we have 5x and 3x are like terms. They're both x raised to the first power. 3x squared and 5x squared are like terms. Look, they're both raised to the same power. They both have the same variable raised to the same power. Okay, now we have, so when you combine like terms, you rearrange the expression, then add or subtract like terms. Now, a note about simplifying, I won't write it down, but a note is that using the distributive property, so like A times B plus C equals AB plus AC. Use that when simplifying. Okay, so now we have our example problems. So first is example 1. Simplify 5x plus 3y minus 2x plus 7y minus 4. So first we can rearrange this. So we have a couple like terms here, 5x and negative 2x. They're both x raised to the first power. And then 3y and 7y. So we can rearrange this as, let's see, 5x. We move this here. And remember, the minus 2 also carries, so it's minus 2x. Then this is still being added. We're still adding 3 of y, and we're adding 7 of y. And negative 4 is just by itself. You can't combine it with anything else. Let's see, we have 5 of x. We're taking away 2 of x, so we can get 3 of x. And then we're adding 3y to that, and then we're adding 7y to that. So we're adding a total of 10y, and we're minusing 4. It's our answer. And then there's example 2. Simplify. 3 times 2x minus 4 in parentheses plus 5x minus 7. So you might be already guessing, we use distributive property here. We distribute the 3. So first we do 3 times 2x, which is you multiply the coefficients. It's the same thing as 3 times 2 times x. Since the 2 and x, if x is next to 2, that means you're multiplying x by 2. So get 6x. Negative 4 times. So essentially what you're doing is you're doing this minus that, and then you're timesing both by 3. So in the end, you're still going to minus this. So it's going to be 3 times 4, 12. We're minusing that, so minus 12. And then we have the plus 5x here, and then minus 7. That faded out. Okay, minus 7. So we have 6x, 5x, negative 12, negative 7. So when we add, so we want to rearrange this. We have 6x, we're adding 5x, we're taking away 12, taking away 7. That's the same exact thing as us having 6x, taking away 12, adding 5, taking away 7. Now we can combine these. 6 of x plus 5 of x. In total, we have 11 of x. Now look, some people get this wrong. We have, I find if you're beginning algebra, it's easy to use this. You'll make two, well, if you have positives, but here, these are both negative. So you'll draw out how many negatives you have. Negative 12, 1, 2, 4. Has these red little dots. And then you're taking away another 7. So there's more red dots. There's 7 more. So in total, you have 19 red dots. So in the end, you take away 19. Or you can just view this as taking away. Taking away, let's say you have 20 apples. You take away 12, then you take away 7. In total, how many did you take away? And that's how we get our answer of 11x minus 19. Next example problem. Example number 3. Simplify 4a squared minus 3a plus 6 minus a squared plus 5a minus 2. So this one will be a little faster. We rearrange these. We can identify the like terms in here. So 4a squared minus a squared. And then we have minus 3a plus 5a. And we have plus 6 minus 2. So this becomes 4 of a squared minus, remember there's a 1 in front of this, an imaginary 1, because if you have just a squared, that's the same thing as 1 times a squared. So 4 of a squared minus 1 of a squared, that gives us 3 of a squared. Now, look, this part, we're taking away 3a, and we're adding 5a. So let's say you have 5 apples, and you take away 3, and then you put back in 5. How many total apples did you gain? So you took away 3, so you had 2. Then you added 5, so now you have 7. You started with 5, so you gained 2. 2a, yeah. And now 6 minus 2, that's just plus 4. And that's our final answer. And then lastly, example number 4. We have simplify. Negative 2 times 3x plus 1 minus 4 times x minus 5 plus 2x. So you can probably already tell we use distributive property and this one. You can do this in two ways, but I think I'll show the one that's easiest. You separate this into two parts, so this is just negative 2 times 3x plus 1, and then all of this in parentheses, plus negative 4 times x minus 5. And you just end up doing all this, distributing, and then you just add that so every sign stays the same. So it's like, if it's 5 plus x minus 5, then you just get 5 plus x minus 5. Okay, so when we do this, we'll get negative 2 times 3 is negative 6, so we get negative 6. Negative 2 times 1, minus 2. And then we do this. Then we can put our signs. Negative 4 times x, we get minus 4x. Negative 4 times negative 5. So when two negatives are multiplied, it becomes a positive. That's a rule you need to know. So this gives us plus 20. And then we have plus 2x. Regrouping, we combine these like terms that are x's and these that are numbers. So we get negative 6x plus 2x. Oh, well, you don't have to do it in order, but I feel like it's good to for this video. And then we have minus 2 plus 20. Negative 6x, you're taking away 6, then you take away 4, you're taking away 10 in total, so negative 10x. And then you're giving 2, so you in total you only take away 8 negative. You only take away 8, so that's negative 8x. And negative 2 plus 20 is the same thing as 20 minus 2, so you get plus 18. That's the final answer. Thank you for watching the video.